Hey now, good morning, happy new year, PAs, W staff, clients, friends joining us. Yes, we're live, we're back. Although, how would you know if we're live, you know? I could just say that and... No, trust me, this is a new class. Although, is it? It's good to see you guys. Gosh, I mean, we did the holiday show, that was so much fun. The, Harv Stevens Out of Our Head virtual show. It was so much good work that you guys did, and spent the last week, doing all new classes for you guys. So today is Monday, and that's going to be our film scoring class. We're going to change up the schedule a little bit, and I'll go into that at the end of the class. But just wanted to welcome you back. If you guys are new, if people are new coming to this class, Mondays is when we look at a movie, look at a scene from a movie, and I take out the music, and then we think of the best possible choice. Could be anything, but anything, usually isn't the right answer. There's a better choice, but this is a good assignment for us. Really proud of how far you guys have come. And I hope when we were doing the best of in the last few weeks, you guys were still looking at Mondays and then also on Fridays seeing the good work that you guys have done. Because it's not easy, but your ears are becoming better, you're more tuned into what's going on in the movie. And I hope that as you're watching TV and movies over the break, perhaps, you've noticed the importance of the score. Because I know I have, even more so by doing these classes. I'm definitely learning with you guys of thinking, wow, without this music, the scene wouldn't really be interesting or scary or all that stuff. So really happy that this is the time we get to collaborate together. So we're gonna look at a new scene today, new movie, and then you'll get that to me by tomorrow. A piece of music, Spotify, YouTube, cassettes always work. And you'll send me the link. You can text me or email me. Fax machine's not working yet, so don't fax me any songs. You can tell my bad jokes are still alive and well. And then we'll see the results for Friday, and there is a prize, a monthly prize of, who's doing, you're all doing good work, but, who's going to be recognized each month. Okay, I'm exhausted already, ready to do reruns again. Just kidding. Today we're going to look at a movie. We've talked a little bit about Woody Allen. Woody Allen is, maybe one of the most prolific, ingenious filmmakers alive today. He's 86, still going strong. We've never scored a Woody Allen movie because a lot of his movies use older soundtracks. He's known for playing clarinet every Monday night, a filmmaker who's also a jazz musician, and he scores his movies mostly with old jazz records. And so I was thinking about how great this scene is in this movie. This is a really fun murder mystery, safe, for the kids. It's not gore or anything. It's a very good suspense movie in the realm of perhaps Hitchcock, although there's a lot of humor in this. So today we're going to be looking at Manhattan Murder Mystery.
I can't follow his car.
But he's right up ahead. He's right
Where
there.
up ahead? I don't know which car I'm following here. I'm not a good driver. I can't chase somebody in a car. I'm going to have an accident. I'll wind up hitting a school bus or something.
Look, it's nighttime. There's no school buses at nighttime.
Don't tell me that. What about night school?
Manhattan Murder Mystery. Good name, right? Comes out in 1993. So Woody's done about 40 films or something like that. Wrote and directed them. Acted in a lot of them. He's in this one. He's the guy with the glasses. He's the funny one, the Bob Hope type character with the one-liners. And this is a real fun little movie about this middle-aged couple. And they think that there's foul play going on with their neighbor, because their neighbor's wife suddenly drops dead, and they think there's something fishy here. Maybe her husband, their neighbor, maybe they're living next to a murderer, because they think it's just something's not right. So written and directed by Woody Allen and Marshall Brickman. Marshall Brickman collaborates with Woody, has collaborated with him several times, most notably with Annie Hall and Manhattan. So this movie is the 8th collaboration with Woody and Diane Keaton. You guys know Diane Keaton. You know her because of Woody Allen, because he discovered her and played against Sam. when they were doing the play together. It was written for Mia Farrow to do it, and then there was all this scandal that came about, and so he asked his friend Diane Keaton to be in it, and there is so much great chemistry between the two.
I can't figure it out. It's got to be that either she's a twin or he's a twin, or there are multiple personalities, or you're a twin or I'm a twin. Because I don't know what's going on.
It's kind of a throwback to old screwball comedies with, Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn, like that kind of stuff, the two of them figuring out this crime together. So let's take a look at the scene. So mostly it begins with Woody and Diane Keaton going up to their apartment and being invited in by their neighbors for a cup of coffee. They meet their neighbors, they're an older couple, and they find out the next few days that she suddenly dies, and they're suspicious of her death, and they think the husband may have something to do with it, but they can't prove it because they're just, they're not cops, they're just, regular neighbors. And Diane Keaton in particular is very adamant about that the husband had something to do with it, but she doesn't have any evidence or anything like that. So what she's going to do is she's going to wait till he leaves and break into his apartment. Why don't we take a look at the scene and with the score, and we'll talk afterwards about. So this is the scene of her breaking into his apartment while he's gone, and of course, like most suspense, he forgets something. He forgets his wallet, and he has to turn around and go back. And the way they're cutting back and forth, you're seeing that are they going to run into each other? She's doing something illegal. Is he going to find her? So very suspenseful scene coming up. So let's take a look. A lot of fun, right? I kind of let it go longer. We're going to score something a little bit shorter than that, but I wanted you to see the scene. Her breaking into his apartment. And the music is very fun, right? It's scary fun. It's a little suspenseful, but it's not Hitchcock with very dark suspense. It's light suspense, but it's still scary, but it's funny. That song is The Big Noise from Winnetka, which is, Chicago. That is from 1938. So he's using, like I said, he uses older jazz records. So that music is not out in 1993, but he uses a lot of old music in a really interesting way that doesn't. It sounds old, of course, because it is, but it sounds still relevant. It's fun. So that's by Ray Bowduke and Bob Haggart. That's little song. And so Haggart whistles the melody, and he's playing the bass because you hear the whistle and the bass going on, right? And then Badu accompanies him on the drums. And so that's the instrumentation we're looking at. So it's fun, right? There's something suspenseful, but also a little bit scary, but it's not a horror movie. There's suspense. And if you look at the cutting, the scene of the cutting, and how the cutting becomes a little bit faster, that's the pacing of the filmmaker, right? That's showing Diane Keaton in the apartment, but then going back to him, showing her again, him turning around. You know something suspenseful is going to happen, so it's a lot of fun. Why don't we take a look at the scene without the music? Not as fun, right? I mean, if we put a scary thriller, suspenseful score, that's not what I want. I want you to see if you can find something that is fun, light suspense. Something it doesn't have to be old, it can be new, but I do want it to have that kind of, kind of light-hearted suspense to it. That's, it could be jazz, it could be new, but this isn't the score to Psycho. This isn't Bernard Herrmann. I want this to be very, very fun, light, and suspenseful. And again, if you were to look at it without any music, you're thinking about Woody says, okay, action. And I want you to look really scared and go around the apartment. It doesn't come together until the magic of the editing and music and sound comes together, because they're just regular shots, it's just, okay, look scared, and then I know, Woody's thinking in his head, we'll add music to this and the scene's going to work really well. So, and it does, because it's a fun scene and the music is really fun, and the whistling and the bass, it's tense, but it's the funny kind of old-fashioned tense, tension, not so much the thriller, thrasher, slasher films, that you kids watch. So find something light and suspenseful. I think that's it. So, having said that, get it to me by tomorrow, and we'll see the results. And then tomorrow, so what I'm going to try to do with these schedules is that, we have about over 300 plus classes of music appreciation classes that, we've gone on journeys from classical music to jazz musicians to pop musicians. We've run the gambit, and we're still going to be, discovering more people, of course. But then tomorrow, we're going to look at Bach again, and I'm going to replay the Bach class, and I'll do another intro and outro to it. But I think Tuesdays we're going to look at an older lesson, and then on Wednesdays I want to explore it in a more advanced way with you guys. So it's not going to be just a rerun. It's going to be looking back at that lesson plan, and we're going to be expanding upon that lesson plan on Wednesdays, and that's what we'll do. And we might take some Thursday time too to do that too, and then Friday do film score and results. So if something looks a little bit familiar on a Tuesday and Thursday, it's supposed to be familiar, because I want to dive deeper into the work that we're doing with you guys. But we need to review too. We also need context and reviewing and all that stuff. Okay, I'm excited to be back. Good to see you. Love you. And, it's just going to be great. So I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.